A lot of people ask me, if journaling is so good, why don't you just use a notebook? I love the feeling of writing on paper, flipping through the pages, and for the longest time, I thought that was the only way I would ever journal for the rest of my life. But after journaling on my iPad for quite a while now, I genuinely don't think I could ever go back to paper journals. Not because paper is bad, but because I slowly realized that there were so many things stopping me from journaling consistently. And I didn't even realize them until this iPad replaced my paper journals. So looking back, I don't think I ever disliked journaling. In fact, every time I started a new journal, I was always so excited. I would tell myself, this is it. I'm finally going to journal every single day. And for a while, I actually would. Then life would get busy, things happen, and then I would miss a day, and then another day, and then the notebook would end up somewhere on my desk, inside a drawer, or at the bottom of my bag. And sadly, the habit would slowly disappear. But I don't think the issue was only motivation, but journaling just wasn't available at the moments I actually wanted to do it. Because the funny thing is, the moments when you need journaling are usually moments that are unexpected. It's after a difficult conversation, it's after a stressful day, or when you're just lying in bed at night, when you just feel overwhelmed, when you suddenly have an idea, but you just don't want to forget it. Those moments are not planned. And because my iPad is already with me most of the time, journaling became something I could actually do the moment I feel the need to. Another thing I noticed was how scattered my thoughts were. I would have some reflections in a notebook, random thoughts in a notes app, screenshots I wanted to remember, photos, voice recordings, bookmarks, and somehow all these pieces of my life were living in completely different places. I believe the whole point of journaling is to understand yourself better. But it's surprisingly hard to do that when your thoughts are just scattered everywhere. So one thing I love about journaling on my iPad is that everything can exist together. My daily reflections, my prayer journals, my study reflections, my goals, my brain dumps, and some random thoughts at 2 a.m. Just everything, it's all in one place. And thanks to this, I actually revisit all my old entries much more often. I can look and see patterns, see my growth, see my prayers that were answered, and see things that I completely forgot that happened. And this has become one of my favorite parts of journaling. And I also noticed something else. When I used paper journals, I was weirdly concerned about making things look nice. Or maybe it's just me, but I would make a mistake and get so annoyed. I wish I had left more space, I wish I had moved something around, and I would realize halfway through the page that I actually wanted a different layout. And gradually, I was thinking more about the page than my actual thoughts. But with my iPad, this pressure completely vanished. If I want something, I move it. If I don't like something, I erase it. If I want to add something later, I can. And because of that, journaling feels so much more natural. My pages don't need to be perfect, they just need to be honest. Now, before getting an iPad, I also tried typing my journals. And I know some people love that. But personally, it never worked for me. Typing just feels very different. It feels like I'm doing work, like writing an assignment, answering emails, organizing information, whereas handwriting feels more personal. It slows me down, it gives me space to think, I can scribble things out, like circle ideas, draw arrows, and write messily if I want to. And that's why I love journaling on my iPad. I still get the experience of handwriting, but I also get the convenience of digital tools. It's like the closest thing I found to having best of both worlds. Something else that surprised me was how much more enjoyable journaling became. And I don't mean only productive, I actually genuinely mean more enjoyable. Some days my journal is mostly writing. Other days I add photos from my camera roll. Sometimes I insert screenshots. Sometimes I create mind maps. Sometimes it's just a messy brain dump. And there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's all up to you. And this flexibility makes me want to come back more often. And then there's something I never thought about when I first started journaling. Storage. Because after a few years, journals start adding up. Notebooks after notebooks after notebooks. And some people, yeah, they do love collecting them. But personally, I move around quite a bit, and eventually all those notebooks started feeling a bit overwhelming. Also, writing in my paper journal, I absolutely hated the ink smudging all over. Like, I absolutely, genuinely disliked it. I hated it so much that I used to put like tissues under my pinky so my hand just wouldn't touch the page. But with my iPad, I would never have to think about that anymore. I can write naturally, just focus on the actual journaling instead of fighting with the page. And it's one of those benefits that sounds really insignificant until you have actually experienced it every single day. So if you've been thinking about starting a journaling habit, I hope this video gave you some ideas. So please subscribe if you want to stick around or follow me along my journey. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.